Hello, Happy Campers.
Hey,
I'm Spike,
I'm Chris.
and we are geeking out.
Geeking out, geeking out. We really need a theme song like geeking out. Yeah. Yeah.
You can tell the weather's turned cold because his nips are showing up. Anyway, hello again. It's been a little while. It's been actually kind of goofy because one or the other of us is getting sick or something's going on. We're recording October 8th, 2023 on this episode. Bit of an abbreviated geeking out. We do have a new back rack video coming out as part of our Halloween series. We're looking at underappreciated spooky stuff from Halloween. So you'll get it when you watch it. So I'm not even going to promise when it comes out because it took me 2 weeks to finally get back rack out. So it's after we recorded it. But just bear with us. We don't get paid for this. We do it for funsies. We enjoy it. So funsies. So looking at news-ish stuff, you said we've had a passing this week, right?
We had two passings.
Two passings.
Well, not this week. Again, we've been kind of...
We've been off of it, for a while. Yeah.
But yeah. So get right into it, huh?
Get right into it.
All right. We've had a couple of passings. Actor Richard Harris has passed away. He's best known for playing in the Harry Potter series, Gladiator, Unforgiven, Camelot. He's known for, in Harry Potter, he played Dumbledore.
The one person in America who's not seen Harry Potter anything. I don't even read the descriptions on the back of the books. That's how little exposure I have to Harry Potter. All I know is that they've got some kind of jelly beans out there that taste like vomit. So
yeah.
So
Those are nasty.
And it's all I know about Harry Potter. Well, I want to know about Harry Potter. Although J.K. Rowling will not put up with anybody's crap. I know that. She will not put up with your crap.
It's fine.
No.
We also had the passing of David McCallum. David McCallum is best known. This generation would know him as Ducky from NCIS. He has a bunch of stuff underneath his belt. This man starred in The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
He was the Russian guy.
He played.
The blonde Russian was this guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was in The Great Escape. So on and so on. But
he had a Forrest Gump life. Listen to this.
Yes. But check this out, all right? This guy was also a musician. And he has done some great things. He did a song called The Edge, which most people would recognize in the most famous Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg song. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
One of their biggest hits.
And
that's something that everybody's talking about. But it doesn't stop there. He also did the Batman theme song from the Adam West Batman movies or TV show. He also did the song I Can't Get No Satisfaction. Well, I think he wrote it. I think who sung it?
That was the Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones.
I believe McCollum was I can't remember if he did like guitar or drums or something, but he was actually a qualified session man, and so he knew how to write music and compose. So he did help out and did a lot of studio work, I believe. Kind of like what the most famous studio players ever are the guys who hung out with the Blues Brothers, because they were the Stax Records studio guys. He was like one of those. He just basically hung out there for funsies. So when he said he did the Batman theme, he actually performed the original Batman. He was one of the musicians for it.
I am impressed. I mean, I've always liked Ducky on NCIS, but if I knew that he did all this stuff, I would have probably been a way bigger fan when he was alive than what I am now. Now I'm just like, man, I look up to this dude. This guy's awesome.
Nobody appreciates these guys. This is what artists go through when they die and suddenly their artwork, the value of their artwork explodes. Nobody appreciates them while they're there. It's not until they're gone.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yep.
But in other news, as we move along, director Matt Sherman, whatever, has confirmed that he will be directing the Fantastic Four movie, and said that it has been confirmed that it will start filming next year in London.
Remember we were talking on, well, it's been a little while, but we were talking on the last episode about how Disney's Star Wars budgets leaked because of their UK tax returns.
Yes.
Because they filmed on studios in London. I believe it's Pinewood is that one. Somebody will correct me on that if they care. But I believe there are like 3 or 4 sound stages in London that are like world famous for spectacular movie shooting. So I don't. Do we have any? Do you have any idea who this guy is and what he's done?
Honestly, I have no idea.
I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because something like Fantastic Four, it seems snake bitten. Nobody's done a good Fantastic Four, and it is. Honestly, Fantastic Four is the most anti-Hollywood franchise ever, because you really, really have to understand a family dynamic in order to properly write, cast, direct, produce Fantastic Four, because they are family. I mean, they're up to 6 now, as a matter of fact, once you include the kids in. Well, actually 8 now if you include the kids, because now... You go by the comics, then Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman have 2 kids, and the Thing and his wife have adopted 2 kids, one Kree, one Skrull. I've got a poster of them over here on the side that shows all 8 of these characters. So you really got to understand family dynamics here, and most of Hollywood just does not get it, because they almost all have either daddy issues, mommy issues, or hate their kids. So...
Sure.
Sadly true. What else we got, Chris?
So
we're just going to knock them out here.
So with all the whole writer's strike and actor's strike and all these strikes going on.
Oh yeah, that worked out so well for everybody.
here's the numbers that were crunched. All right.
Yeah.
So far, there has been 45,000 jobs lost in the entertainment industry. With the economy in California losing $3 billion, and that's just studios reducing, pending of $5 billion. And those are the numbers that were crunched about how many, and apparently there's more jobs that will be lost soon as well. So
that worked out well, didn't it?
Yeah. So.
Okay. Word to all the union people out there: your strikes don't always work out the way you think they do. Because, I mean, we were talking about this before the strike. We were talking about this over a year ago when they were first muttering about the strike. There's a lot of studios had a lot of dreck on their books. And they were wondering what in the world they're going to get rid of. How are they going to take care of this? Because we've mentioned Snow White. The Snow White remake is $300 million in the book already. And they haven't even wrapped principal photography yet. They're talking about redoing Bambi as a live action. And they're talking about redoing Cinderella with trans. They make Cinderella trans and all this other stuff. All of these projects, these studios put themselves on the hook for. And sure enough, these Hollywood unions turned right around and gave them the perfect opportunity to just drop them flat. So that's exactly what they've done. That's where the 45,000 jobs went, because they're all with projects that have been canceled now. All that economic activity is now shut. So
Mm. Maybe that means I'm going to have a.
Yeah.
Maybe that means I have a shot at Hollywood now.
No, they're all going AI now. Artificial intelligence. Okay, people. Let me just say something about artificial intelligence. Okay. Artificial intelligence will never be what you think it is. Okay. Artificial intelligence is simply a modification of a single of a group of programmers' worldview. Okay. They go out, they look at AI goes out and looks at specific spots and starts lifting things from other films, music, art, and so on and so on, and it just kind of it's almost like a digital stream of consciousness effort. But to say that AI comes up with anything creative and it's going to put creatives out of business, that's what the Writers Guild was worried about. Go ahead and let these studios do all the AI they want and see what it gets them down the line. Because I told you this with streaming. These studios aren't going to make a dime off of it. In fact, they're going to lose their shirts because they're not getting any revenue in now, or just a fraction of it. They're going to do the same thing with AI. They think it's going to save them money in the long run because they won't have to pay residuals. And the courts have decided that AI cannot be copyrighted. Okay, works created by AI cannot be copyrighted.
Yeah.
Unless the Supreme Court of the United States reverses that, no studio is going to touch AI because they wouldn't be able to copyright any of it. So, AI art cannot be copyrighted. AI compositions cannot be copyrighted. Nothing created by artificial intelligence can be copyrighted. That is not the problem the unions are going to be dealing with. There's going to be all these cancellations and all these guys who were on the bubble who suddenly saw that bubble pop. If you guys on the bubble supported that strike, you got exactly what you deserved. So, bye-bye. How you like them little green apples? Them little artificially intelligent green apples.
All right, we got one more news item, and I'm going to do a movie review. All right. Why this is happening, I do not know, but Chris Rock is set to direct a Martin Luther King Jr. biopic. Now, I know he wrote and directed a Saw movie called Jigsaw, I believe is what it was called. And I don't know if it was any good or not.
It wasn't.
Because, I don't think nobody went to the theaters to watch. So I don't know if it actually did.
It was a movie about a puppet. No. It was a movie about a puppet and it wasn't Pinocchio. No.
Yes. Yes. So.
Wow, that was a weird one to end it on. I did not see that one coming. Nope. So if you had Chris Rock directing a Martin Luther King biopic on your 2023 bingo card, just go ahead and shout bingo.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're just going to give you that one.
Yeah. That's yep. That sure is something. I don't know what to say on that one.
I know what to say, but I can't say it on YouTube anyway. I might be able to get away with it on Rumble, but not on YouTube or Facebook. Anyway, you said you had a movie to review.
A movie review.
A movie review, y'all.
It is Exorcist 2, The Believer. Or just called Believer. I don't know. Yes. The new horror movie, The Exorcist. This is the movie that I talked about before, where I went to watch Oppenheimer on IMAX, and this trailer made everybody in the audience go, "What? Oh, It was the most wildest thing I've ever experienced in the theater, especially to a trailer. So, The Exorcist 2 is the sequel to the original Exorcist movie. All right?
Which is weird because there's been like a half dozen Exorcist movies over the years. Exactly. None of them were direct sequels to the original.
Yes, exactly.
That's what this one is supposed to be.
So, and to be honest, the only reason why this is basically a sequel is because they brought back the mother from the original movie, which honestly was a waste. She comes and I'm not gonna spoil it, but she goes.
She's got to be like 80 years old now, right?
Just like, yeah, pretty much. So anyway, the movie is about two little girls that go into the woods and disappear for 3 days. They come back, but they are not exactly. Let's just say they themselves didn't come back, but something else came back inside. So they are now possessed in this small town. You got one of them is, she just has her dad, single father, and then you have this Christian family, and there's a whole lot of talk about like the type of faith that you believe in, and some of them lost faith. And what is he doing?
Go ahead.
There's a lot of faith talk in this movie. A different religion talk. Is this a perfect Halloween movie? Now, like he said, there's a bunch of Exorcist movies, and I have seen a lot of them, and I honestly did not go into this movie going like, this is going to be the best movie ever. It is not the best movie ever. Here's the thing when it comes to The Exorcist. Like most movies, if it's the first time that it's ever been done and nobody's seen nothing, has never seen anything like it, of course it's going to be good. Of course it's going to blow everybody out of the water, and everybody's going to be like, wow. Like Jaws. You know, nobody's ever seen a movie at that time period. Nobody's ever seen a movie about a shark eating people. And it happened, and now we got like all the way to a bunch of Jaws movies and Meg and other movies about sharks eating people. It's nothing compared to the original, but everybody tries to make something out of the gold that was there before. Does that make any sense?
Barely.
Ah.
I am listening, but
I'm trying to. If you're looking for a good scary Halloween movie, of course you're going to be scared. Okay, here's the thing. Of course you're going to be scared of this movie. Of course you're going to go watch this movie and be like, and all that. It takes a lot to scare me because I don't know, like there's something about horror movies and me where like there are some movies that scare me and there's some that I'm just like, I've seen this 1,000 times before, not impressed. So, and this is one of those movies. Was it good? Yes. The girls, excellent acting. Like, they freaked me out. I got to admit, these girls did freak me out. But I don't know. To me, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't think it was the best movie ever. Was it good? It was okay. It was an okay movie. Will I ever watch it again? No. But with Halloween, and no offense, people get scared so easily now.
We've got a blue jay outside screaming it. Thanks.
Wow.
Anyway.
It was like right next door. But yeah, it's especially females. Females love to eat the movies like this up. They're like, oh my gosh, help me, and stuff like that. Just like all these slasher movies. That's why they make so many Jason and Halloween movies. They don't have to be good. They just know that, teenagers and females will go and watch these movies and be like,
And that's why they make them. Yeah.
Yeah. And, so.
The problem with something like The Exorcist, the film is almost 50 years old. And it is one of those things where they felt obligated to do it just to keep the IP alive, because you got to remember under American copyright law, if you have a character, if you use it again, you publish a new creative or derivative work of it, you're copyright reading it. Okay, so this is why you keep seeing all these weird little characters in comic books, because they're trying to keep the rights active. They don't want it to fall into the public domain. It's been a while since there's been an Exorcist film, and Chris, you found out the reason why. Unless your last name is Blatty, you're not going to be writing a good Exorcist story. Even if your last name is Blatty, you're not going to be writing a very good Exorcist story. Honestly, what was it Insidious? Was the movie about the demon possession from earlier this year?
I don't know if it was demon possession. I lost track of what that was about.
It
was something about the other side.
Yeah, that was from the Angel Studios. Studio. And that one took possession to a spiritual level. And it worked in its own way because it went at it from a different way. We've got a back rack video we got to do. We've already talked about family friendly creature features. We're going to be talking about Halloween
stuff that
deserves a second.
Yeah.
Look. Stuff that's been forgotten over the years. We're going to do one where we'll be comparing the difference between horror films and terror films.
Hmm.
It seems like a subtle difference. I like terror films. I don't like horror films. Slashers, the monsters, the possessions, and that's a dime a dozen. That's all the hoo-ha crap. Terror is what gets into you, and it kind of like eats away at your...
Yeah.
Because it's like the old tagline, it's only a movie, it's only a movie, it's only a movie. If you catch yourself repeating that, you're watching a terror film. Because you're reacting on a visceral, emotional level instead of a gross out level, which is what most horror deviates to now.
That's what, it's like, I don't want to see Halloween 64 or 112 because it doesn't scare me. It's like, it's predictable. It's like, oh, this person's going to die, this person's going to die. But I can sit there and watch Cujo, and that one scene where they're stuck in the car because the dog will not let them out, that is terrifying. That actually makes me go, ooh, it's like, there's a difference,
I think something we can talk about on our back rack video episode this week, we're talking about forgotten horror things, is classic movies that kids have not yet been exposed to. They might even be aware of the existence of, for example, Psycho, but they've never actually seen the film from start to finish. Yeah. And we might get into that a little bit on that episode. So, Chris, let's get to the rule of 5. On the scale of 0 to 5, honestly, 5 being Saturday night with a date, 0 it's not even drunk. Where would you put Exorcist to the hoo-ha? The bejabbers.
Okay, so here's the thing. Again,
the gee whiz.
It takes a lot to scare me. These Exorcist movies just don't work for me because, again, it is predictable.
It's so 1973.
But again, there's a lot of people out there that will watch it and like it. But on me, I will have to give this a 3.5.
Give it a 3.5.
The only reason why I say that is because, again, the acting is really good. There is something that I cannot say because it will give it away, but there's something bad that does happen to one of the girls that it kind of messes me up inside because I'm just like, why? How? Oh, that is just not right. So.
Yeah, the difference between horror and terror. It's like, why? And then the injustice of it strikes you. So you're saying Exorcist 2 is basically red box bait. Rent the DVD.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. So, anything else before we wrap this, Chris? Because we still got a back rack to do, and it's getting a little later in the day. Well, if that's it for you, that's it for me. So until next time, Spike,
Chris,
and y'all keep on geeking out.
Peace.